price of Bitcoin is $27,130. It's dropped 2.14% overnight. This is how the price chart looks. Today, we're going to discuss how the price of Bitcoin is going to perform over the next 24 to 48 hours. And in part, this drop in price is to do with the next Fed rate hike meeting on the 14th of June. This is no rate hike change. This is a 0.25% basis point hike. You can see right now, no change is expected at 34.7%. A hike is expected at 65.3%. Yesterday, this was sat basically at 50-50. This has changed overnight. There is more of an expectation that, again, there's going to be another 0.25% basis point hike, which is not the worst thing in the world. It's really not that bad. It shouldn't really affect the markets very significantly, but it has affected Bitcoin's price overnight due to a number of different factors, again, not just this that I'm going to tell you about in today's video, and how we can expect the crypto markets to perform throughout the course of the rest of this week. And if you are interested in that, do drop a like on today's video, subscribe to the channel, join the club. Again, my name is Jordan. I talk about cryptocurrency here on the internet every single day. So if you do want to join that club of people that trade crypto, do drop a like, subscribe, and let's crack straight on with today's video, because this is interesting that basically more people are expecting a rate hike right now than there are not expecting a rate hike. In terms of Bitcoin's price and how it's performing, yes, looks like, what's it called, a wet dog. It doesn't look particularly happy because the price has dropped down fairly significantly. But if we're to go over to the hourly chart and look at what has actually been going on here, I want to bring up the volume profile. There we go. So in terms of what was happening here, basically Bitcoin lost its got rejected at that level of resistance all the way up here, and then it's returned back down. It likely return back down to the control line here around $26,800. What would that mean for the price of Bitcoin at that point in time? Well, to be honest, we can consider that, if it came back down and retested this level, a bullish retest of a breakout pattern. Not a particularly bad thing to be seeing. On the price of Ethereum, however, pretty good news, to be honest. This is Ethereum versus Bitcoin. I've been talking about for a while now. I expect the altcoin market to outperform Bitcoin pretty significantly over the course of the next month. Don't forget that today is the 31st of May. Tomorrow, trading opens on Hong Kong exchanges for cryptocurrency. So we're likely to see the markets start to change very significantly over the span of the next month as new users in Hong Kong are onboarded onto new crypto exchanges. As the onboarding happens, naturally that will cause adoption of cryptocurrency, naturally that will cause demand to rise. If we're looking at the resistance levels right now, we can see that basically Ethereum versus Bitcoin is starting to have a bit of a charge. It is retaking some of that market dominance. If you look at Bitcoin dominance right now, this is Bitcoin dominance on the 15-minute chart, you can see that Bitcoin dominance is dropping. It looks to have peaked at this point in time. Looking at the hourly chart, it doesn't look fantastic in terms of how this is performing. I've charted it before and I've charted it as a diamond pattern. If we're to look at this chart right here, to me, this is more of a diamond pattern than anything else, because you can kind of draw a diamond in there, and the diamond patterns do tend to break to the downside. My expectation is still the altcoin market outperforms the Bitcoin market. If you want to learn more about altcoins, you should check out the video that I posted yesterday on my main channel, where I highlight 10 of the top altcoins, not necessarily the top 10, that's just the title, but 10 of the top altcoins that I'm including in my portfolio over the course of the next month. I've made basically a $40,000 crypto portfolio. In fact, let me see if I can bring that up on the screen right here so I can show you what is actually in that portfolio to save some of you some time about watching that video. In that portfolio, what is it currently worth now? Because I imagine it's worth less with a little bit of a drop down in price overnight. Let's just have a quick look. So currently it's worth $40,000. So really there's no real change. 24-hour portfolio change is only down what it was got up into it. The point is, Daffy's price is on the rise right now. The Daffy trade so far is in around 40% profit, with the price of Daffy now sitting at 1.4 cents. Don't forget, Daffy's price is rising because of their new exchange launching pretty soon. Tap doing its thing of just kind of going up and down one sat all the time. Can't really expect to see too much from that, apart from when the price starts chugging, you'll see some very significant gains on the price of Tap. For now, it's just kind of stuck between two bands. If we look at the order book on Tap right now, and we look at how that's performing, just look at all these buys that keep coming through. Consistently buys. More buys than sells all the time. There's a few sells in there every now and again, but it's consistently more buying than there is selling pressure on Tap. And naturally, over time, that will wipe out this side of the order book and the price will rise because there's more buying than selling all the time. In terms of the other coins, you can see them right here, but I would recommend you go and watch that video in detail so you can understand more about the reasoning behind why I've included each of those coins within that cryptocurrency portfolio, and I'll link that video in today's video description. But back to this video right now, what is currently going on with the price of Ethereum? Well, this is Ethereum's US dollar value, and I talked about it previously. I was looking to go long on Ethereum at this range, exactly at this range. I discussed it before. $1,870 is the price at which I said I'd be opening a long position, and I'm going to stand by that. I'm going to open a long position at these levels right here. In terms of the trade that I had open the other day, I got stopped out basically at entry when we dropped to the downside of this level of support right here. Again, it's important to be trading with stop losses in this market. Don't be holding on to things that lose money. That trade got stopped out at these levels here. I opened it at 1,900. I closed it at 1,900 and really didn't make or lose any money on it. But since then, the price has dropped down $30 and it's time for me to start wading into this trade right here. Why do I want to open an Ethereum long position? Well, let's look at the maths of this. Let's look at how this is currently performing. This is the 4-hour chart for Ethereum versus US dollars. We had that W reversal pattern. This is now back at this level of support. Potentially, it could trade probably as low as about $1,850 in this range. But for me, being a bit of a long-term trader with a bit more of a long-term outlook, I'm happy to start entering my trade at these levels. If you're wondering where I trade on BYBIT. You'll find a link for BYBIT in today's video description, as well as a tutorial link to the top of the screen. I think it's at this side over here. Just click on that button right there, watch the tutorial for how to trade on BYBIT. You'll learn a lot. Either way, currently Ethereum's price is $1,869. Can we expect more downside to come? Potentially, just a little bit more. It could just squeeze people out of those trades that they're not particularly happy with right now because they feel like they're in a little bit high at $1,900 and they didn't have a stop loss set. At the same time, would it be worthwhile averaging into a trade again and kind of getting a lower average entry? From my perspective, I don't think that's the worst idea in the world, although I'm not a financial advisor and you should do your own research. I wouldn't bet against people that would be averaging into a position over time here, because don't forget, everybody in crypto has got like a 2-minute mindset. A 2-minute mindset doesn't really allow you to profit off anything. You need to have a longer term mindset when investing in any cryptocurrency and trading in cryptocurrency, because this is the daily chart. Look at how many times here. So look at how tiny a drop that we've actually had here on the daily chart. It is incredibly insignificant. And if you compare that to, well, imagine you had this rally upwards and then you sold here because, oh my God, I'm panicking. And then it rallied all the way up to here. Like, you've got to bear in mind the size of these moves is very minimal. And this is more about getting the perfect entry for the longer term trade. And the longer term trade is a break here of this resistance level at $1,930. A break of that $1,930 level is going to be amazing. It's also important to point out we did break the long-term downtrend on Ethereum. We did form a W reversal pattern. And if we look at the volume range profile right now, as well as the VWAP, you can see that we have a liquidity band down here. There is a tiny chance we come back down and retest that. I just feel like for the most part, we're in no man's land currently in terms of where the liquidity is currently sit. If we go down to the hourly chart now and look at that volume range profile here on the hourly chart, you can see we've got a band of liquidity here, a band of liquidity here, not an awful lot in between. A reversal seems somewhat likely. So I'm going to be opening a trade on Ethereum today. So yeah, if you want to do that yourself, check out the link in today's video description for BYBIT. If you use that link, up to $30,000 for free. Other things to point out right now on the price of Ethereum would be on the 4-hour chart. Again, very much the same thing with these bands of liquidity, with the main band of liquidity sitting down here at $1,815. Oh, hello there, my friend. Coming to say hello. Right, sod off you. It's like an electric dog that kind of cuts the grass. Either way, this is all looking pretty good from my perspective in terms of getting the perfect entry on the price of Ethereum right now. In terms of XRP, look, the Bitcoin value of these things keeps rising. The market has changed. Yes, Bitcoin's price isn't increasing day after day after day. It doesn't need to. I didn't expect it to. I never said that it would do. From my perspective, in fact, I did do a little bit in yesterday's thumbnail on the main channel, but that's just because I don't have Photoshop on this computer, so I just changed one of the... I'd use an old thumbnail and change 28k to 30k just to make it a little bit different for the YouTube algorithm. Didn't even mention Bitcoin in that video. Either way, XRP, it is rising against Bitcoin right now. We'd like to see that as a trend in the altcoin market. Other things to point out would be, in terms of today's cryptocurrency news, the band that created Bitcoin ordinals, called Rod Armor, has resigned as inscriptions have exceeded 10 million. Basically, if you're not familiar what Bitcoin ordinals are, I included a link in yesterday's video description on the main channel to a link about Bitcoin ordinals and explaining what they are on cryptosavingexpert.com. Bitcoin ordinals are very interesting. It's like having an Ethereum version of Bitcoin. Even in that video yesterday, I mentioned a coin called Stacks. Stacks allows you to build Ethereum-like protocols on top of Bitcoin. I think that this is going to hinder Bitcoin's usefulness because Bitcoin can only process 7 transactions a second, so it is ultimately limited in terms of how many transactions it can process. It's not like Ethereum where it can process more, and Ethereum is still clogged up. Bitcoin is getting clogged up now as well. That's one of the reasons why this guy's resigned. But if you want to learn more about this, go to cryptosavingexpert.com and read about it right now. Either way, moving on from that, BYBIT is leaving Canada, which is because Canada's regulation on crypto is getting worse and worse. Securities Watchdog has published recommendations for regulating crypto globally. Highly worth a read is this article. Prosecutors say SBF's motion to dismiss charges is meritless. He's been trying to get the charges against him dismissed, which is particularly interesting. Basically, the prosecutors said in their filing on Monday that the charges sufficiently alleged that FTX and his co-conspirators made a false and misleading representations to lenders relating to Alameda's financial condition, and that no more specificity is required. Now, finally, in today's cryptocurrency news, we didn't have anything because you should go to cryptosavingexpert.com and sign up for the courses section. If you sign up for the courses section, you get an account like this and you can go through and complete any of these courses. They're all completely free to complete. Basically, if you go on Trading 101, you can learn a bunch of different things. You can learn about margin trading as well. But if we go to here, look at candlestick patterns, there's a whole module on candlestick patterns. When you click on there, the lovely jest pops up. You can either watch the video or learn from the text right here. And if you can't even read, you can press the listen button and it'll do that, and then you can take the quiz. Either way, check that out, cryptosavingexpert.com. I am ultimately bullish on TAP, bullish on Bitcoin, bullish on Ethereum. Well, less so bullish on Bitcoin than I am on Ethereum, but I am looking to take long positions in the market right now because this is the time. You buy the red, you sell the green. We've now got red. Let's buy it and see what happens. I can't promise any kind of success, but I can tell you in the past I've been particularly successful at doing all of these things. So have a great day, everybody. Thank you for watching. Drop a like on today's video. Leave a comment with your thoughts about what you think is going to happen to the price of Bitcoin in today's comment section. Do you agree with me or do you disagree with me? I'd love to have a chat with you down there. So do drop a like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.